The standard way to get color into a 3D printed model is by using UV textures, and that basically means you take an image, you wrap it around your model, and that gets printed. I did another tutorial about UV unwrapping, which is what you need to do before you can texture. And by texturing, I just mean making a nice image. Since it's just an image, you can do that in any program you like. You can use any commercial or non-commercial photographic editor. You can use vector programs as long as you just save it as an image. One of the nice things about Blender is that you can do it inside Blender 3D as well. And you can even draw on your 3D model. And that is exactly what I will show you really briefly in this tutorial. Before I can paint on my model, I'd like to make sure I have a fresh new image to start from. To do that, I'm going to select my model in the 3D view over here. Once I have it, I can go into edit mode and select everything by clicking on A on my keyboard, and instantly you see what I have selected. Only the bits that I have selected, I can see where they are in the 2D view as well. That's why I want everything, so I can see everything in the 2D view. Then with my mouse over the 2D view, I click on A again until everything is selected. This means because everything is selected, I can assign a new image to everything at once. I don't have to do it per face, because every face can actually have its own image if we really wanted to. We don't really want to. So I have everything selected, and in this bar I can now remove the old image. You can see the result instantly, and add a new image. New image is here. It's called Untitled, 1024 by 1024 pixels. Standard color, it is blank. You know what? I don't care too much about any of this. 1024 by 1024 is fine. I'll just click on OK. So now we have a black image texture. We can paint either in the 3D view or the 2D view. First I want to show you the 2D view version, so I'll go into object mode, and in the 2D view we have this drop down menu where we can select paint mode. Once we're in paint mode, we can paint over the texture and it goes onto our 3D model instantly. You can see the result. If you want to change color or change your brush settings, you can find it in the panel here on the left, which you can close or enable with the little plus symbol at the top. And down here at the bottom you can select your color or your radius, so I can make it really big and paint all the way across the front of my model. That works very well. And you can see, there we go, I can make this black again as well. I'm trying to get to a point where I can show you what I want. You see what happens if you're painting in the 2D view. You don't paint across the seams. So I'm really just painting either on the left or on the right. I have to paint, if I want the front and the back of the head to be the same color, I would have to paint here or here. So I can make the front the same color as the back. This is nice, but it makes it very hard for me to make a line that goes from the front onto the back, because I would have to paint it here and go all the way across. That makes it very, very difficult, because where this point ends and that point starts, where they connect, it's really hard to paint. To do that, we want to paint on the model in the 3D view. So I will go back to view mode here and make it a little smaller so I can see my 3D model. And on the 3D model I will go into texture paint mode. Not vertex paint, that's a different tutorial. This is texture paint. So we're in texture paint. I can again open this one on the left, and let's make him a nice dark orange just for the heck of it, and I'll paint all over the back. And we make this stronger. That's a beautiful orange. Here we go. And you can see the result only after you lift your mouse back up, you can see the result here. And if we want to paint across this seam, we can just do it. So I can paint here beautifully across the seams. Now the result is sometimes not exactly what you want. It's always interpreted by your 3D view. So I'm going to do like this. That's really nice. There we go. And if I wanted to make a line go across here, I can just do that, make the radius really small and go, yeah, I want some lines. You see what I'm making? This is fun. And yes, I have to do it on the other side as well. Maybe I should do it a little rougher. There we go. Of course, 1024 by 1024 isn't too much. You can see the individual pixels here as well. It's trying to soften it a little bit for us, but it doesn't always work. It tries to help. And you see, you always have to go around your model and make some changes. And we'll make the face nice and white. Ooh, that's a little soft, so we'll make the face white. Do it again, go on. And we'll give him some tiny little eyes. Can we do that? Yes, we can. Here we go. This is painting in the 3D view in Blender. This may not be the best way. We've got a tiger. That's awesome. I like it. The result isn't always extremely clean, but it's good enough to get something really simple out. You can show people how it works really easily. It is mostly useful as a way to fix textures that you made somewhere else. So if you have a seam that's visible, you can just zoom in and paint over that seam and get it fixed. I normally do a lot of this stuff in other programs, so you export to another program. That's a different tutorial. This is painting in 3D in Blender itself. If we now want to save the result and export it, I'll go back to object mode. There we go. So the screen is all normal. First we have to save our image. And by the way, pay attention to where it says image. If there's a little star symbol like this, it means your image has changed and you haven't saved it yet. So we're going to have to save it before we exit Blender, otherwise we lose all of this lovely painting that we've done. I will go to image, save as image, and I will go into the folder where I'm at, and I'm already there in this case, which is great, and I will call this my tiger texture.png is a nice format. I'll keep it as a PNG and save it. Now it's saved in the folder where my Blender file is, and I want to export. I can go into File, Export, and you have to pick one that supports image textures. X3D works. My personal favorite for this sort of thing is VRML or .WRL. It works really well and pretty much every printer accepts it. So I will select that, and in the menu on the left you have to check, make sure you've got, in this case, only my selection. It's good, I just have a single model. I want to apply the modifiers, yes. I want my texture and UV stuff. I do not want my vertex colors, and my scale is 1. All this is fine. If I want to make sure I'm in the same folder as my texture, what I can do is switch off this one, the filtering of files. It's a little funnel. If I switch it off, I can see my tiger texture is in the same folder that I want to export to, and I will call this guy tiger blue. Here we go, tigerblue.wrl. Hit enter to save it. He is saved. I can put my WRL and PNG file in a single zip and send the zip to a 3D print company and have it printed. That's pretty much it.